a set of corporate strategies that is going on 40 years old. It started in the 70s. It hit the private sector first. It was highly successful in defeating worker organization in the private sector. One of the things about neoliberalism that everybody acknowledges is that they are against regulation. And they're mostly talking about state regulation. What is the target mostly of corporations is worker-imposed regulation. And even bad unions, even unions in retreat, impose some regulation on corporations. The other thing about what's going on in Wisconsin is that defeating the law that eliminates bargaining rights represents a victory. But it's a defensive victory for a retreating labor movement. Okay? A string of victories like that will lead to our demise also. That, in fact, we have to change the terrain of how struggle takes place, where struggle takes place, what we are fighting for. Like I said, for the most part, neoliberal programs attack the private sector first, with one exception. The New York City fiscal crisis, that started at the end of 1975, was the laboratory of neoliberal austerity. In the midst of the attack on mostly private workers, in New York City, they developed a program. Well, in fact, in New York City, what we had between 76 and 82 was a banker's dictatorship. We had where a group of bankers dictated to the mayor, the city council, the board of estimate, etc., what the policies of New York City will be. And not to go into the details of the crisis, but what did they discover from that crisis? One, they learned what the labor leadership and, in fact, the politicians would accept. While both parties are capitalist parties, the Democrats had an interest in a different base. But when imposed on the budget must be balanced, the bills must be paid, etc., they all fell into line. So that's two things. One of the negative lessons that they got that they're not letting stand now is that they learned that you can leave no stone unturned, no agency standing. I didn't yet have my transit job then. However, transit was the agency that was the safety valve. Laid off workers from other agencies got to sell tokens in the booth. I don't think it's any accident that one of the first things that they did in imposing austerity in the transit authority is that they started closing booths. They laid off station agents for the first time ever, and they closed booths instantly. They disappeared the booths. I have coworkers who are now train operators, who have been train operators for years, who were New York City cops that were laid off. And by the time they were hiring cops again, they had acquired a little transit seniority, so they stayed with transit. Those are the lessons that they learned.